Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Nvidia report for Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with the big picture as usual, work my way into the day itself. This is a 5-year channel. It goes back to 5-year chart rather that goes back. This is a weekly bar chart that goes back to January of 23. So it goes back a solid 2 years plus, 2.5 years. And really what I'm showing here was the settlement above this descending 4 or 5 month channel top, now at 93.89, that occurred about 7 weeks ago, setting up 150.46 as our next long-term target. It's actually all occurred inside of about 2 months, 7 weeks actually. We were expecting like a 3 to 5 month possibility, and really it's more like 3 to 5 weeks. Now we've been having trouble lately, but we're still pushing on to new highs, and I expect that to continue so long as we're above this 141.32 to 141.94 area. A combination 3-4 week channel bottom and a 5-6 day channel bottom. I don't expect to see a good high for the week unless we close below 141.32. Until then, I continue pushing. I expect us to push into the 150.46 objective within the week. Now we do have 146.39. That is, I don't show it labeled here, but it is a simple trend line across the highs over the last few weeks. It did roughly hold yesterday's high, and we backed away from it. 146.39 is our pivot point. If we close today above 146.39, I think within 1 to 2 days at the most, we test our objective at 150.46. This is a long-term channel top that can absorb buying not only through July, but possibly well into the third quarter. We can fall away from here into the 110s, 115 area. I don't show that right now. I would need to see the high before I really commit to the support, but I do think that that is what we are looking at. Like if we did top out at 150.46, you can anticipate within 2 to 3 months bearish rotation back into the 110, 115 area. And that's just normal market behavior. Nothing significant about that. If we were, however, to close the week above 150.46, and you can throw in 153.13 for good measure. That is, after all, the high settlement price that was put out on this chart back in January. So if we close above both 173.62, then likely within 2 to 3 months, this rising 2.5 year channel top able to contain buying through the rest of the year, and we can fall away. I don't expect 173.62 unless we close above this low 150s, a 150.46 up to 153.13. But I think even if we close the week, any week above 150.46, even if we don't close above 153.13, needs to be by a comfortable margin. I do think you should respect this market's ability to continue forging a higher path onto new highs, 173.62 likely within 2 to 3 months, but we're nowhere near that. What we are in the middle is this sort of band of channel support and resistance. They're parallel with each other based on the spike lows that occurred over the last year. 134.71. I still like it. It lines up pretty well with a channel bottom that we've been following now for some time that you can see here that goes back about 3 weeks. And so this also shows your 3 to 5 day swing trade to the downside. I had already mentioned how you can buy. Maybe I didn't mention that exactly, but I did mention 3 to 5 days by the end of the week, holding above 141.94. We are expecting our long-awaited 150.46 level. And if we close today above 146.39, which is this trend line basically off these highs, we should within a day or two reach 150.46. And if you've been long, for instance, since the big buy signal that occurred 7 weeks ago above that formation at 93.59, this is your opportunity to take profits. If you're comfortable playing both sides of the market, if you can play the short side, if you're adept at that, experienced at that, you can do so. I think as we're testing the low 150s, options traders may reach for 110 or 115 strike out of the money puts that don't expire. I would probably go 4 to 6 months out on that 2 to 3 month downside play.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and Nvidia, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Now we have 141.32 to 141.94, and I mentioned how this maintains a stable to bullish market through the rest of the week, 150.46 in reach by the end of this week. But if we do close today below 141.32, we have a good high for the week. And within 3 to 5 days, I would expect a test of 135.60. This horizontal, mostly channel bottom, is actually correlated pretty well with this channel structure at 134.71. I think that could contain slippage below 135.60. That area, 135.60, able to contain selling on a weekly basis through next week into July. From here, we could round up back into the low 150. So if there's a 2 to 3 week swing trade to be made, it is perhaps selling the low 150s, 150.46, and taking profits at 135.60. But I also mentioned your 2 to 3 month swing trade will take you all the way back into the 110s, 115 area following a test of 150.46. Let's continue with the downside, that if we do close today below 141.32, I do expect a test within 3 to 5 days of 135.60, where if you were short as a 3 to 5 day swing trader, you should cover that short position at 135.60 and consider going long at 135.60 in anticipation of upward rotation back to 150.46 within 2 to 3 weeks. Now, if we did close below 135.60, and it's not going to happen today, but if, say, over the next week or so we do, we are then only expecting the 128.17 2-month rising channel bottom. And it will be converging over the next 2 weeks anyway with our 135.60 formation. But for the time being, let's just say over the next 5 days, 6 days, we close below 135.60. I would then expect only another 3 to 5 day swing trade to the downside of 128.17, where we could bottom out through July and round up to 150.46 over the following 3 to 5 weeks. In terms of a downside sell signal, in other words, a sell signal on weakness, I don't see a significant one unless we close below 128.17, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. But if over the next few weeks it did, it will by that point in time be in the 140s, mid 140s anyway. And so it would offer a sell signal into the 110s, 115 areas I mentioned before, were we to close below this structure. You could also, once again, sell strength at 150.46, anticipating, I guess you could say that you could anticipate the 128.17 formation, but let's just see where we are at the time that we test 150.46 before we make any assumptions on what structure we may test to the downside. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I do want to mention that this week we're putting out 2 stock picks, wickedstocks.com, as we do each and every week, always looking for 20% moves on those underlying stocks. This is very well suited for 3 to 5 week out to 3 to 5 month near-term investors, 3 to 5 week swing traders. We did 3 the week before last. Last week we did 2. Lamb Research, Danaher Corporation. We did Tempest AI, Adobe Systems, etc., etc. So check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll not only receive our stock picks that we put out twice a week, but our daily our daily SPY report and our daily Triple Q. We've been doing those 2 publications for 4 years now, and we haven't missed a day, like we haven't missed Nvidia or Tesla any given day. So check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of the 5-day free trial. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesday's NVIDIA report, and you have a great day.